What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm your host, Tyrus Wilson, back again with another live. Today, I'm here with my good friend, Raleek. And today, we're going to be talking about the Shedeur Sanders Cleveland Browns situation. And we're going to be unpacking week 8 and making week 9 predictions. And it's just a lot to talk about right now with the NFL. We're going to start off with Shedeur. I don't know how well you keep up with the Browns, Raleek, but what are your thoughts right now? With Shedeur Sanders and his situation with the Cleveland Browns.
Shedeur Sanders is in a lose-lose situation. He has unwillingly joined a franchise that he did not want to join, mind you, before the draft process started, and a franchise that does not even want him there. I'm not even certain as to which particular member of the coaching staff or ownership picked Shedeur Sanders. I'm not sure who did that, but obviously they do not want him there. Every single chance they get to even see what the man has to do at quarterback, they do not allow him to do so. They have started Joe Flacco in front of him. They have started Dylan Gabriel in front of him. Dylan Gabriel has not been playing good whatsoever. But regardless of that fact, Shedeur Sanders rides the bench. They even activated Bailey Zappi off the practice squad just so he couldn't be QB2 in case Dylan Gabriel was playing that bad or got injured. And they said it was because of a back injury for Shedeur. And to me, once again, the coaching staff just does not want him there, which begs the question, why draft the kid in the first place if you're not going to give him even a single shot? So right now, yeah, Shedeur is in a lose-lose situation, and I don't see it getting better for him anytime soon.
You know, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Um, and here's I might ruffle some feathers tonight. Okay, like I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan, so I've been rooting for him since Jackson State. With him going to HBCU, him balling out Jackson State. Then going to Colorado, balling out there. So I'm a big Shedeur Sanders fan, and I want to see him win. But I would say I'm kind of mixed with it. I can acknowledge the fact that yes, he deserves a chance and he deserves opportunity, but I can also acknowledge the fact that like there's been some things he has contributed to the fact that he's not getting the better cream of the crop opportunities that he probably should be getting. I think he should have been drafted higher. I think everybody can kind of agree on that. No way he should have fell that far with him being one of the best prospects as far as quarterbacks in the class. But there were some things he could have done different in the interview process. We don't have all the details, but from the details that we do have, it's like, okay, from what we heard, we can probably say that maybe he could have done some things differently. Should he have dropped that far, even considering that? No, he shouldn't have. But when it came to the combine, when it came to interviews, when it came to some of the things that even Coach Prime said, his pops, I think they could have done those things differently. I think we don't acknowledge that because we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But that doesn't change the fact that yes, he deserves opportunity. And with this specific like situation now that he's on the Browns, just speaking on that and not the past, I think that Kevin Stefanski has always been to me an overrated coach, um, and he's kind of proven that again. The coaches that are underrated to me are the coaches like Kevin O'Connell, who can take a Carson Wentz, a JJ McCarthy, a Sam Darnold, and you have a contending team. Like he takes the quarterbacks and makes the team better. Even Kirk Cousins, he makes the team better. He develops quarterbacks. But with Kevin Stefanski, I don't think he's really that good of a coach when it comes to developing quarterbacks. And I don't know if that's the best position for Shedeur. He definitely, I think they should trade him. Honestly, they should trade him at the trade deadline.
Hello, hello.
What's going
You
on,
still
brother?
there?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Doing all
Yeah,
right, doing all
what y'all,
right.
yeah, what y'all talking about?
We actually talking about Shedeur Sanders right now, the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders, situation, and me and Raleek were just chopping it up about that. What's your perspective? I don't know how well you've been keeping up with that situation, but what are your thoughts on that?
I personally have not really heard. I mean, I haven't, really been keeping up with it myself. So, can you inform me on what's the situation?
Yeah, so obviously we know all the drama surrounding the NFL draft
Mm-hmm.
earlier in the year, and obviously Shedeur fell, which really nobody expected him to fall that far. And then now the controversy, the situation with him on the Cleveland Browns is, he's not getting the playing time. He's not getting what some people will say is a real opportunity because okay, you had Joe Flacco in there as the vet. I respected that. Now you trade him to a division rival. Dylan Gabriel, it's no diss to him, but he's just not that good. He's not as talented as a quarterback that Shador is. So now the question becomes, okay, we already know. I think everybody in the world, everybody in the NFL who really keeps up with it, we all know the Cleveland Browns are not a good football team. They're not going to the playoffs. So at some point, you got to ask yourself, when are you going to try new things? When are you going to adjust? The trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, is what, next Tuesday, if I'm not
Yeah.
Correct.
mistaken.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, shoot, if they don't trade Shador, at some point we got to see him. We have to see him. I say you play both rookies just to compare, give Shador opportunity, and we see what happens. But they're not going to win. They're not. They're just not a winning team. They're not a winning franchise. They've never been a winning franchise since what? Since Jim Brown back in the day.
The
But
50s.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
since Jim
shoot.
Brown days, probably.
But I just think obviously you get drafted to the Browns. It's a tough situation, and Kevin Stefanski, he's just to me he's just not very good at developing quarterbacks. So it's like, do they should they consider trading Shador? Should they give him an opportunity? But that's just some information on the situation.
Yeah, so hearing that, it's like Cleveland Browns, they're doing Cleveland Browns things. In the first place, they already screwed Shador over by drafting him, in the draft that they already drafted another quarterback. So it's like, okay, he already has like, some competition in the same draft, oh, excuse me, in the same draft class as him. So he's not really getting the fair opportunity to really show what he could be able to do. In the preseason, we saw him do good. He was balling in the preseason. And now it's the regular season. And Dylan Gabriel, he's struggling. Cleveland Browns, they're struggling as a whole. Why not give him an opportunity? So for me, I'm just like, if you're gonna trade him, like you're not gonna play him, trade him. Like, don't just have him just sit on the bench and waste away his career because y'all just don't want to give him a chance or something because y'all like, well, we want to see what Dylan Gabriel could do. Because I could see both sides of it. You don't want to bench Dylan Gabriel so early because he is a rookie quarterback and stuff, but then it's like he's struggling, and you also have another rookie quarterback on the team who probably could come in and like maybe not help them win games, but at least help them be somewhat somewhat
Competent.
good, I say, like, where they won't be getting crushed or anything, or their offense could barely get any points up. So I say that they should give him a shot if they were to go that route. So that's what I say about the situation.
Yeah, they definitely. I'll say this: if I was the Cleveland Browns coach, head coach, or general manager, I'd be like, you know what, shoot, why not? Look, one thing you can guarantee, even if Shador plays, right? Let's say he does bad, right?
Hmm.
Okay, your starter right now is doing bad.
Hmm.
Put Shador in. Let's say he does bad. You lose. You've been losing. But one thing I can guarantee is from a business standpoint, the eyes are going to be on the Cleveland Browns. You're going to have eyes on the Cleveland Browns. People are going to be paying attention. You're going to have more seats in the stands. People are going to be watching, paying attention to Shador play. From a business standpoint, that's that. We know that's coming. But from a strictly football standpoint, I don't know if it's just the fact that like maybe the coaching staff doesn't trust Shador enough. And with that, I would ask the question is like, what is making you guys trust Dylan Gabriel more than you are Shedeur Sanders? Now, I will also say on the flip side, because like I said, I was telling Raleigh before you came in, Will, I'm kind
Mhm.
of middle ground with it. I'm not like 100% on this side, 100% sit on that. I'm kind of middle ground because I can also acknowledge the fact that like Shador's not starting. Should he be starting right now? In my opinion, yes. Has he put himself in the best position to start? Probably not. He probably hasn't. Um, and that's the thing that I feel like we can acknowledge kind of several things because, like, I know there's the talk with Shador in the draft, and I don't know what your perspective on this is, Raleigh. I definitely want your perspective. During the draft, I heard a lot of talk that was like they're trying to humble him. They're trying to, with him being a confident black quarterback and that whole perspective. But I don't think that this specific situation was necessarily that. I think that Shador, how he handled the combine, he should have participated. He didn't. He kind of overestimated how valued he was in the spaces of NFL owners and GMs. Then you get to the draft. He falls tremendously, which, regardless of what he did, he shouldn't have fell that far. We've seen guys way worse, like Johnny Manziel, um, quarterbacks who have had character concerns have not fallen like that. So now it's like, are we in this position where we really can't trust Shador enough for him to play? I mean, I just don't get it.
Hmm. We have seen countless examples over the years of um, questionable characters enter the NFL draft and still be drafted highly. It's happened countless times. I can't even name people in general. Last time we saw a quarterback, however, a young black quarterback who was seen as a controversial draft pick, was Lamar Jackson, in my personal opinion. And they being the NFL owners, made an example out of Lamar Jackson, who, pled his case that he was a quarterback, not a receiver or a running back, pled his case, and he stated the fact that he was indeed a quarterback, and they made an example of him by not picking him to the very, very last round. It's in my head canon or my imagination. It was not the Ravens' job to pick him until at least round two, but they like went against the NFL and picked him regardless. But once again, the example they made of Lamar Jackson was still a first round grade. And Lamar Jackson, of course, was incredible in college. Shedeur Sanders was a winner everywhere he went. He won at Jackson State. He won at Colorado. Not very much, mind you, but he still won games there. He turned the program around and brought eyes to the program. Shedeur Sanders is a momentum shifter. And now, don't get me wrong, it is very controversial to have a character like Shedeur Sanders in your roster. I have no idea. We have no idea what goes on in the actual locker room of that particular Cleveland Brown franchise. We have no idea what he says, how he reacts to people, what their interactions look like. We have no idea what the locker room thinks of Shedeur. We have only the idea of what we think Shedeur is capable of doing. So while yes, I'm very certain that the NFL made a painful example out of Shador, not mostly because he's black and overconfident, mostly because they don't think he is that good. I'm not certain what they're seeing or what their scouts are seeing, but they look at Shador Sanders and they did not say first round grade or second round grade or third round grade. Past that, okay, I guess a little wonky, a little wishy washy, but they did not believe him to be a day one, day two, day three guy. And I'm not certain as to why. Maybe us as fans see something different, but in my personal eyes, he was a at least a day two quarterback, enough to prohibit a pick of that nature. But I digress. But no, in my personal opinion, it was an example pushed too far, and it's now made a bad situation much, much worse for both the Browns and Shedeur Sanders himself.
Yeah, yeah. It's gotten to the point now where it's like I just think they just need to put him in. Just at this point, try something different. I don't know how much longer they're going to roll with Dylan Gabriel, but I would say give Shador an opportunity. I mean, his opportunity, I will say this, his opportunity is being in the NFL. He has to earn his opportunity. But when you're talking about the Browns, it's like They are a bad team. They're a bad football team. Try something different. Push your door in there. See what you can get out of them. And it's unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate in for Shedeur because you think about it. If they had have given him a chance to get on the field earlier, he could have gotten the opportunity to build some trade interest. You know, the trade deadline is next Tuesday, and he hasn't played. He hasn't gotten the opportunity at all. I just don't think Shedeur has a future with the Cleveland Browns, and it would be best for both parties if they would just trade him. If you're not going to play me, trade me. That would be my mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's the part that's the most confusing psychologically because I don't understand the Cleveland Browns head canon and what's trying to make sense of the situation. Because you, as the Browns organization, right? You're on draft day. You pick up your potential future of your franchise in Dylan Gabriel, and for some weird reason, 2 rounds later, you pick another quarterback up in Shedeur Sanders, a much more controversial pick to that point. Knowing for a full fact it's going to bring controversy eyes to your program, right? You pick Shedeur knowing what comes with him. And then when the first quarterback you have, Joe Flacco, you trade him away to a division rival in very odd in that fashion, but regardless, you start Dylan Gabriel. Okay, great. The kid isn't playing all that great so far. That's just called like it is. Not playing all that great so far, turning the ball left and right and center. Not looking too good. Great. You have a second quarterback behind him who's also a rookie who you can also just see how he plays. You refuse to play him. However, his name is so interesting, it garners attention where other teams who are quarterback needy right about now could use his services or at least be interested in her services. And instead of exploring that option to trade a player who you clearly not only don't want on your team, but don't even want the other teams to get tape on because you won't let them play, you won't trade him either. I'm just not understanding what the Browns are doing right now. They are not trying to help themselves or help him. They're stuck in a stalemate, and I don't understand the reason as to why.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where we're gonna see where it goes. Uh, all I know is I'll say this: when Shedeur Sanders is on the field and he finally gets an opportunity, I will be watching. I will be rooting for him. Um, like I said, for those who know me, I do have criticism towards Shedeur a lot, even though I'm a fan of him, so I keep it unbiased. But that doesn't mean I'm not rooting for him just because I criticize. Um, he's a star quarterback. He was in college for sure, and we're gonna see what he has in the league. And I'm gonna be rooting for him. We'll see how he does. We'll see how he does because there's just no way that Dylan Gabriel's gonna finish the season as the starter. No way. I'm no diss to him. I just don't see it.
It's the Browns, so we
Yeah,
don't really
you.
know what their plan might be.
I mean, they started the year with like 5 quarterbacks, and now they have what,
Yeah.
two?
A three
Two.
with Billy
Yeah,
Zappi.
they still got Kenny Pickett, I think.
No, they
They
traded
trade
him.
him away.
Oh,
Yeah,
they trade
Dylan
him away
Gabriel
too.
starter, and you have Billy Zappi, who they went from practice squad to now QB2
Wow.
in Shedeur.
Okay,
Shedeur is
so
two
They
right
have
now.
Shedeur,
like
that's right. Shedeur is
no
not even.
mentorship in that locker room. There's like no mentorship in that quarterback room right now. Like,
So
who's the
Shedeur is not
mentor?
even the
Yeah.
QB2 right now.
Billy Zappi is QB2 right now after they had listed Shedeur as inactive with a back injury. But my question is, how could he possibly injure his back? All he does is stand around
Yeah, he
all
not.
day long. He
He's
doesn't do
practicing.
anything.
He's
I mean,
practicing. How
hey,
you injure your
you
back?
still got
Like
to
what? He be
practice
injuring
weight
his
room.
back in weight room or something? Like what? Come on
I
now.
don't know. It seems very at least questionable at that to have him have a phantom back injury. But who's to
Yeah,
say it didn't happen? That's something that we can't really comment on because I'm not certain if it's
yeah,
true or not.
yeah. Don't have him turn into no Terry McLaurin, nothing. Some phantom injuries. Yeah.
Terry. Speaking of Terry, yeah, it's not looking good. I, I'm defend. We go because hey, it's not just Shador Live. We also talking about NFL overall, Week 8 and
Yeah.
Week 9 coming up. But speaking of Terry, transitioning to just a different topic. Ah man, they announced Terry is out for
Mm.
Sunday's game.
For Sunday
He's
night. Yeah.
he's out again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. People were on my head today because I defended Terry. I defended him. I'm like, look, he deserved that bag. He earned that bag.
Yeah.
And let's take away deserved and earned, because all of that technically is subjective. One thing when it came to the business side, taking emotions out of it, he got what he negotiated. He got what he negotiated, and he negotiated the contract, and he got what he wanted. That good for him. I was rooting for him, and I'm really not changing my stance on that just because he's hurt. But I see the fans, some of the Commanders fans, some of y'all just cut from a different cloth than me, and I mean, I'm rooting. I'm happy for Terry, even if he's hurt. It's like, okay, he got what he deserved. He's been putting in work for years. Like, injuries happen. I get it. He's going to be over 30 now, and people are saying he's washed and all this stuff. You got to be patient, and you got to see how things progress. But it definitely does hurt with him being hurt. And it's looking like our season is going down compared to last year. I mean, last year in total, we had 5 losses in the regular season. Going through 8 weeks of football, we already have 5 losses this season. So, I mean, it is what it is. Injuries happen, and we're the oldest team in the NFL. I don't know why Adam Peters. I respect Adam Peters. He saved the Commanders from years of devastation and tragedy and being poverty. And we, in his first year as the GM, we make it to the NFC Championship. That was amazing. Greatest season I've ever seen in my life for the Commanders. Absolutely. But in this offseason, I remember telling folks, I don't think he's done enough. The names he signed, the players he signed, I don't think he's done enough. And looking at us right now, it looks like Tyrus was right. It looks like I was right, because we have the oldest team in the NFL. I just don't. And guess what? We have the oldest team. We have a bunch of injuries. They go hand in hand. Like, I just don't get it. I don't.
To that point, I do wish your Adam Pierce was his name. It would have been smart for him to capitalize on that Commander stock. If I'm not certain if y'all remember, but like right after the NFC Championship game was over and you guys had still lost, the Commander stock was so high at that point. Any free agents wanted to be a part of that team because you had a young quarterback on a rookie deal who just took his team to a play. Took that team. That team isn't built all that well too, and he took that team to the NFC Championship game. Any free agency was looking at that game and like thinking to themselves, I want to go on that team. However, no big names were really in this free agency class personally. And then on top of that, the ones that were pretty big did not sign with y'all. So, like to your point, they didn't really do enough. I wasn't, as a Cowboys fan, when I heard about Deebo Samuel, I shrugged it off. I wasn't scared of Deebo Samuel. When I heard y'all re-sign Terry, I'm not too scared of Terry. Deron Payne came back, that was good, but like besides that, it's you guys could have added bigger names. To your point, it would have worked better for you.
Yes. I'm with you totally. The point that you just made was a perfect point, Raleigh. We made the NFC Championship. We were riding high, one of the hottest teams in the league. You have a star quarterback who's on his rookie deal, meaning he hasn't got the big bucks yet. Because when he does, that means that, hey, you over there, you're not getting the big bucks. He is. So because of that, he's not getting the big bucks yet. We can allocate money to get people. But what did Adam Peters do? When we had, if I'm not mistaken, the second largest cap space in the league going into free agency last year, what did Adam Peters do? He signed guys like Jacob Martin. I respect Jacob Martin. He's not changing. He's not changing our team. He's not making a big impact. Like, there were guys that were there. And I'm gonna be honest, last year wasn't like this super great free agency class. So I'm not gonna size it and be like, oh, it was amazing. There were guys who could have made bigger impacts on our team that we kind of just didn't decide to overpay. And that's okay. Sometimes you don't want to overpay, but when the window's there, you have to strike. You have to execute. If you're gonna shoot at the king, what's the saying? You better not miss. Right now we missed. We missed big, and we should have spent bigger in free agency. Also, I think that with the recent moves, I think we should have went out and got Stephon Gilmore. I know he's older too, but our DB room is already bad. I think adding another vet would have been beneficial, especially not just a vet, but a winner. I mean, Bobby Wagner, he's a winner. I like vets who are winners and they still have something left. Stephon Gilmore to me has something left, even though he's a free agent. He also knows the system from his time in Dallas. Knows the system. I think that would have been beneficial considering how bad our DB room is. But just looking at the team right now, um, the trade deadline's next Tuesday. For me personally, when if we lose Sunday, because I'm saying if because as far as I know right now, Jaden is practicing this week. So for me, it's like if we lose Sunday, it's time to start selling. It's time to really get serious about selling guys on the roster. I would honestly say if we lose Sunday, Marshawn Lattimore, sayonara, get him off the roster.
Yeah,
That
we're not
pick,
going to put a high price for him.
that interception against the Chiefs does not change anything. He's still not good. Get him off the roster. I would trade Marshawn Lattimore, Zach Ertz. Um, shoot, I might even trade Luke McCaffrey. He can go team up with his brother in San Fran. I'm cool with that. Um, but actually, he's been pretty solid when it comes to kick return, so we probably keep him. Um, but shoot, we might even consider trading Debo. Like if we lose Sunday, you really got to get serious about selling and getting draft picks because we have to make this team younger if we're gonna, you know, have sustainable success.
I definitely agree with that
Yeah.
statement. Where we do need to go younger to get more sustained success. I'm just not certain if these particular players that you're looking to shop are going to be of a high market value, such as a Debo Samuel or a Luke McCaffrey, as you just stated. I'm not certain these players are going to fetch a high price. I'm certain for an absolute fact that there's on a team in the NFL that is looking for a Marshawn Lattimore right about now. There's no team is looking to go to buy or sell their draft picks to go buy a liability at cornerback who's
Hey,
ace.
somebody might take the bait. Somebody gonna take that bait.
You'd be lucky to get away with a seventh round draft pick for that particular fellow right there. But
I'll take it.
we'll see.
I'll take it.
I bet you would. Um, but yeah, I think this is very important that you guys hit your draft picks come this off season. I don't have you guys finishing above 500. I have you guys finishing right around 500, a little bit below it, potentially
Like
slightly
8 and 9,
like around 7 and was it 7 and 10? 7 and 10.
7 and 10.
Only because it was going to be 8, 9, 9 and 8, but then Jay Nails keeps getting injured, and I'm not certain how long he'll be out for. You guys face a tough opponent in Seattle this particular week. They're 5-2 right about now. It is a home game for you guys, so I bet the Washington faithful will be out and about, and they make it hard for Seattle. But I do see you guys still dropping that game, so yeah, I see you guys going 7 and 10. But it's really important you guys hit your draft picks this time around. Very, very important. I would of course, not like to see. But if I was a Commander fan, I would hope my team would draft a receiver such as Jordan Tyson out of Arizona.
See, okay, so I hear y'all was talking about the trade deadline stuff. So for me, Washington should just like do a big sell. Like Tyrus, he was talking about a bunch of different players and stuff. Marshawn Lattimore, I hope they release him. Like I don't think we could really get anybody back from him. At least release him. Debo, I actually want them to keep Debo. Like although he is like getting on the older age and stuff, Debo he actually is like a real threat, like a versatile player who at some points, like most of this season, he was our number one wide receiver with Terry McLaurin out. A player that I would want them to trade because I feel like he actually do have trade value is a Deron Payne. Although Deron Payne probably has been easy or the best defensive player this whole year, he easily could probably get traded for like a third round draft pick. I say. Uh, so yeah, Washington they should really be looking at like, you know, because they don't really have that many players. I mean, that many draft picks to for the draft next year's draft. But they do have money in free agency. They should have, I think, like the third most cap space next year going to free agency. So, they just really need to not go old, not do the old route how they've been doing for the past 2 years and stuff. It worked last year, but this year was like Bobby Wagner was slow. Zach Ertz old. Like it wasn't working. So I say they should definitely, in free agency, try to go the younger route and get better players and younger players also. And then in the draft, they should probably just go wide receiver or something like that, just to, um, compliment Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel. I say on the offensive side.
We need real reinforcements, guys. We need real reinforcements. They are gonna have to spend and they're gonna have to draft
Yeah,
well.
like
Oh,
I was about to say, Trey Hendrickson, he's gonna be a free agent. I want them to try to go after him. I actually do. I want them to try to go
I
after
don't I
him.
don't even know about that, bro. I don't even know about that.
Cause
Just because I hear you, I hear you. Let me say this: I do
Mhm.
hear you, but before he got hurt, what's his name? What's his name that just got hurt? I think he hurt his
Dorrance
hamstring.
Armstrong. Wait, no, not
Yeah,
Armstrong.
Dorrance
Armstrong?
Armstrong.
Oh, he
Yeah,
he got
Dorrance
ACL. Yeah, he got ACL.
ACL. I could have sworn it
Yeah.
was a hamstring.
He out for like the rest of this year and probably a little bit into next year.
He was
Yeah,
doing solid before that. He was doing
he
solid. But I'll
was.
say this with Trey Henderson, um, for me, I'm gonna say probably not. Just if the asking like if the payment price, if we're talking about the same price that he was trying to get from Cincinnati, nah, I don't think we should pay that. I don't. We
Oh
have to
no,
kind of
no.
spread our we have to allocate it in different spaces. Um, so I don't
Yeah,
think he's really
yeah.
like that.
We're not letting another 30-year-old try to fleece us into saying he's younger than what he is and stuff, and saying he's not going to be injured like like Terry McLaurin or somebody. Like we're going to actually like know his value and stuff, and we're going to um uh, basically make it be a fair price. I should say we're not going to like get fleeced by another player again, where we paying them like 5 million over their worth or something. We're actually gonna have it be like a fair price. And I feel like they could do that with Trey Hendrickson. Like get him here for like a fair price, not too low, not too high or anything. And like, see what he could do. He could be a veteran for the defensive line and stuff. So yeah, I said they should do something like that.
Um, yeah, that possibly, but going to week 8, this past week,
Yeah.
this past week of football, what were your guys' thoughts on the games? The Bills back to business as usual. It's about time they woke up. Um, the Commanders, we already know what that is, man. It's not looking good. Cowboys, life comes at you fast. You spank the Commanders with a 44-point dub. I mean not a 44-point dub, a 44 point performance, if I'm not mistaken. And then you come back the next week and you give up 44 points and lose. So how you feel about that, Raleigh?
It was a eye-opening experience to say the least. Did I believe in my Cowboys a lot coming into this particular year? Not really. I consider myself to be a Cowboy fan realist. I don't believe my team is capable of such great things all the time. This particular year, I felt that way heavily. After we traded Michael Parsons, I realized this year was not going to be all that good. However, it was surprising how good our offense was. Really, really, really was. I always believed in Dak Prescott's ability to lead the offense to be great in the regular season, which he has done before and is doing again this particular year. But the addition of George Pickens cannot be underestimated. He has made his offense explosive. He is a great weapon for us to have. Um, but it does not. It didn't matter this come Sunday. We score I think 38 points per game at home. That number gets cut in half on the road. I think it's like 21, 22 points per game. We scored 24 points, and Dak Prescott didn't score any. So I this is a bad game all around. The offense, our explosive offenses, could not get it started, even with Patrick Surtain taking most of the game off because he was injured with a shoulder injury and an elite knee injury. Didn't quite matter. That defense was healthy enough to still stop us every chance they got. Our running game was pretty much non-existent. Dak was making bad reads left and right. He had a bad game this week, and it always sucks too because the second he enters into the MVP conversation, all of a sudden, 2 reception game, no touchdowns, right back out of it. But yeah, it's we're 3-4-1 now. It is around the time where I, as a Cowboy fan, want to start shopping our season. I'm not too confident. Our schedule only gets harder from here. I'm not sure in the exact order, so please forgive me. But we face the Eagles, the Lions, and the Chiefs in the upcoming weeks, and those all sound like losses to me. So right about now, I'm looking to shop our team. I want to keep our offense the way it is. Our defense is abysmal. We all know that. But yeah, not looking too good for my Cowboys right about now.
The Cowboys, they're like an interesting team because every time I see the Cowboys and when they don't play us, I get hope. I'm like, okay, this team probably not that good as I'm thinking. But as soon as they play Commanders, it's like, wow, 44 points. But the
It doesn't matter.
Cowboys, they just really need to. I already know they need to find their identity on defense. Like, are they going to be a team that that try to play bend but don't break, or are they just going to try to pick? I mean, make cause turnovers and get the ball back to the offense. They just really need to find their balance. I say on defense, and Dak, he's like a he's a quarterback that just play good against bad opponents. I say, as soon as he play a good opponent, it's like, all right, we actually see who Dak is now. Like he play against Commanders, he could be like lights out and stuff, but then play against an actual good defense, we see what happened. So I say, in those times, they just really need to try to just get the run back more involved and stuff, and really just not try to rely on Dak as much as they are. I say.
I'm
How
gonna say
quick
this,
we
bro.
forget.
You said
How
what?
quick we how quick we forget. I want everyone to remember that the Packer defense going into our matchup in week 4 was considered to be the best defense in the league at that point in time.
Yeah.
And everyone said we were going to get boat raced in that particular game. While we did not win that game, we put up 40 points. Dak put up 40 points on that Packer defense. He is capable of playing great against good defenses. He just had a bad game this particular week. I was the first person to tell you that. I want him to bounce back. I think he will bounce back. But yeah, he just had a bad particular week. We need to rely on Dak. Dak is our entire team right now. We traded. You were speaking earlier about how we need to find our identity on defense. We traded away our defense, our identity on defense for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. He's gone now. Micah Parsons was our identity. We were rush the
Yeah.
passer and let our ball hawking DBs pick the ball off, or our hit sticking linebackers hit you from the ball. Turnover heavy defense. We don't have it anymore. And now our defense is getting shredded to pieces. Matt Eberflus is doing God knows what back there. And I'm not certain who's in right now because our secondary is very battered. But no, our defense right now has an identity and it will not gain one over the course of this year. It will not get better. It will probably only get worse. So it's up to Dak Prescott to lead this team into, I say, the playoffs, but to be honest, that's not all that likely. Hopefully,
Yeah,
but
like I agree. I agree with you saying, but I'm like, people gotta know Michael Parsons, he not coming back. So it gotta be someone else that gotta like step up. Unless that's King Clark, unless that's like one of the young, players on the edge or something that gotta just step up. Also, something about that Prescott, how you was saying, the Cowboys, they're like one of the worst teams on the road. I remember like 2 games, this Broncos game, and it was what was it, the Bears game? That Prescott was actually probably one of the worst like quarterbacks in the league those 2 games. Like that's just 2 games, like put into perspective. But I just gotta say,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Um. All I can say is, man, somebody has to stop the Eagles from winning the division.
I
You want to know
say
why? You want to know why?
we gotta keep.
Because
I think we
21
all know
years
why.
straight.
Remind us.
Yeah, but so we gotta keep that 21-year streak going. Like we can't have the Eagles coming here and be like, because they was the last team that won it back 3 years in a row. We can't let them, just think it's
So
their division now. Like no, we can't.
for those for those that don't know, there is a NFC East streak, which is for 21 years straight. The NFC East has had a new winner. It has not had a repeat winner. So that means, hey, they win it this year. Okay, fine, we got it next year. Going into the season, I was like, shoot, the Eagles had their turn, and now it's our turn. It hasn't been that. It has not been the case. So for me right now, if we lose Sunday, I'm not quitting on my team. I'm accepting reality. And the reality is is a wild card still for right now for me, like from where we are right now, right here with the Commanders, we're not winning the division. We're probably going to be if we even get Jaden back and he's playing good and he's playing good and we can win games, I think we could be a wild card. We could sneak in possibly, but being realistic, it's even hard to say that. So for right now, to me, it's like, hey, if the Cowboys trade for a solid or possibly even a star defensive player at the trade deadline, I'm hearing Max Crosby, I'm hearing Quentin Williams. If they go and get somebody like that, they could genuinely compete with the Eagles for the division. I believe that because the offense is already elite. The offense is elite. George Pickens could be a wide receiver one, and then you pair him with one of the best, C.D. Lamb. They are probably the best wide receiver duo in the league right now, currently. Dak Prescott, yes, he does bad away sometimes, and I mean it happens. But realistically, he's been pretty solid this year. He's been an MVP candidate. You go get him a defensive star, or just some defensive help. They can really make a playoff push. They can make a push for the division. I think the Cowboys can really fight for that.
It will be in my best interest to agree with you, Tyrus. But as a Cowboy fan who's loved my team all 21 years of my existence, I know a good team when I see one. I know a bad team when I see one. I look at my defense, my abysmal, horrible, disgusting, nauseating defense, and I say we are not a piece away from being a playoff caliber team. We need more than one player on defense to fix that dumpster fire we have back there. Our secondary is torn to shreds. We had a lot of injuries last week against the Broncos, but even with our stars, we're not always that particularly good. Our linebacking core, we're getting back to Marvion Overshown, I think either this week or next week. Great young talent. We're coming off a horrendous knee injury, and my certainty is going to be the same. Our line, of course, is just filled with young players and potential difference makers, but honestly, nothing like Micah Parsons for obvious reasons. Kenny Clark has been solid, but he's not like a world beater. And the run defense has been, albeit worse, without Micah Parsons than it has been with Kenny Clark. Surprise, surprise. But I will say I'm trying to be a realist this particular season. I think the Eagles are going to take off and we're not going to be able to catch them. I do see us catching up a little bit, maybe being 2 games behind, but I don't ever see us in a position to like threaten them for the leader of the division. Once again, our defense is not a piece away. Even if we were a piece away, do I think my owner or our owner, Jerry Jones, is going to make that trade? I don't think so. I believe he intends to either use all the draft picks or trade those draft picks on draft night to go acquire a player, but not this particular season.
I'm gonna be bold. When do the Eagles either begin to go on their trajectory? When it comes to the Eagles' trajectory in the past two seasons, when does their trajectory change? Either going up or going down. When does it change? At the bye week. At the bye week. The Eagles always change at the bye week. I don't know what it is. Guess what? Their bye is here. Their bye is here. And after the bye, who do they face? The Green Bay Packers. The shift is possible. I'm holding out hope. I am holding out hope for I'm at this point. I love my team, but I'm just like, anybody but the Eagles, please. Anybody. Somebody else go and snatch it, please.
To your point, buddy, let me go see your schedule here. They are currently, what's their record right about now? They're
5-2.
I'm pretty sure it's 5-2. Only lost to the Broncos and they lost to the Giants, so they're 5-2, right? Yeah,
6-2.
6-2. Yeah, they're 6-2 right about now. We are 3-4-1. We are 2.5 games behind because we tied with the Packers. That was a must-win game, but regardless, they play the Packers.
I'm looking at the schedule. I got the schedule right here.
You too? Yeah. They have the Packers week 10, or was that week? Yeah, week 10. Following that, the Lions, and then they play us and the Bears and the Chargers. They are going to play a playoff team in the Packers, playoff team in the Lions, potential playoff team in the Cowboys, and then potential playoff team in the Bears again. Chargers, maybe so as well. They're playing 5 playoff or potential playoff teams in the next 5 weeks, where they could drop those games. But then again, the Eagles, once again, after the bye week, they either sink or they swim. Last year, they swam. Year before last, they sunk. I'm not certain this particular Eagles team does not have the gusto of last year's team. Saquon's are running nowhere near as hard or not really busting us as much gains as they used to. But as of right now, I don't believe they're capable of going on a crazy run. But I do see them dropping at least one of those games, at least one.
Yeah, I agree. Because the Eagles, they're like always like the big storyline of the season. I say like they're either getting on a big, as you said, a big win streak or like a big losing streak. Um, uh, this year I don't like it is their bye week. I don't see them really getting on that big losing streak because they haven't showed any signs to really like of any like you know, digression or anything where it's like, all right, we could see them probably going on a losing streak. Saquon, he was a little banged up in their win against the Giants, but I don't see them really like, diverting backwards. I feel like they're like getting a little stronger, and as the season go on, they're really going to start showing their muscles and stuff, and really starting to win games like they were as last year. I feel like. I hope I'm wrong. Like I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Cowboys or somebody hope we could like come back and probably challenge them for a division and actually win this time. But as in my opinion, I just don't see them really going backwards.
I will say this though. I will say this. If the Eagles win the division, I will be extremely devastated. But if one thing that I know for sure, if the Eagles do win the division, you know what they not winning? They ain't winning the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Yeah, they
I
don't
don't
win that
care
game.
who. I said this last year, even when the hype around them, all this stuff. You know, I said it last year. I'm sorry, but Jalen Hurts is not good enough to lead the Eagles to back-to-back championships. He's not that good. I looked at the quarterbacks in that specific field of NFL quarterbacks who have led their teams to back-to-back Super Bowls. Guess what they all have in common? They were all stars. They are all Hall of Famers, if I'm not mistaken. And the ones who are not are probably about to, they're still playing or they're about to get in. So I just don't see the Eagles getting back there. Um, but they're just so far ahead of everybody else in the NFC East, and it's hard to watch. It really is.
Like,
Uh,
I want to ask you a question. So you said that all the quarterbacks you saw was stars and stuff. Now Jalen Hurts, I don't say he's not better than Jalen Daniels or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying he's better than Dak Prescott. But what makes Jalen Hurts not a star in your opinion?
Great
um,
question.
hey, that's a great question. What makes Jalen Hurts not a star to me is Jalen Hurts. Now, before I even answer that, I pulled it up right now. QBs to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts can't pass any of these guys because he's still playing. He has a long career ahead of him. Hopefully, he stays healthy, so he could definitely pass some of these guys. Um, we got Bart Starr, Green Bay Packers, Hall of Fame, legend.
Okay.
We
Mm-hmm.
got Bob Grease, Miami Dolphins, legend, Hall of Fame. We got Terry Bradshaw, Steelers, dynasty, one of the greatest dynasties in NFL history, legend. We got Joe Montana, arguably the greatest quarterback in NFL history, 49ers, legend. We got Troy Aikman, Cowboys, dynasty. They were like that in the 90s, legend.
Yeah.
John Elway, Hall of Famer, legend. Tom freaking Brady, the greatest quarterback in NFL history, in my personal opinion, legend. Patrick Mahomes, future Hall of Famer, he will finish his career as either the number two or he will finish his career probably top three, possibly could possibly be number one quarterback all time. The guys I named, Jalen Hurts ain't on that tier. Jalen Hurts is not on that tier.
Yeah.
These are
Okay.
guys who are difference makers, legends. Jalen Hurts to me, you ask me why is he not a superstar quarterback? I'll tell you why. Jalen Hurts is not a team elevator. He doesn't even. I'm gonna be honest. Great quarterbacks make the guys around them better. Great athletes in general. Michael Jordan made his teammates better. LeBron James made his teammates better. Switching it back to football, Tom Brady made his teammates better. I mean, you're throwing to Julian Edelman. You're throwing two guys who really weren't like that before they got to Tom Brady, and he elevated the guys around him. Talking about Jalen Hurts, if anything, the guys around him elevated who he was as a player. Jalen Hurts to me is not even a top 5 player on his own offense. I respect Jalen Hurts. Is he a top 10 quarterback? I'm just talking about overall, not currently. I'm just talking about like overall, considering last year. I would say yes, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. Right? I would say he's there. Currently, right now, like just this season, I would say no. But it's mid-season. We still got to get there.
That's
But to
surprising.
me, he's not a team elevator to me. Jalen Hurts is not. Saquon Barkley elevated the team more than Jalen Hurts. Jordan Mailata elevated the team more than Jalen Hurts. Pretty much the whole O line. But Lane Johnson is better at what he does than Jalen Hurts. Saquon is better at what he does than Jalen Hurts. AJ, if you actually give him the ball, is better at what he does than Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith is better at what he does than Jalen Hurts. Jordan Mailata, the center whose name is escaping my mind right now, but and I'm not saying these things to disrespect him or discredit him. I just really think it's extremely hard to win back-to-back Super Bowls. They lost some pieces. They didn't lose anybody that was particularly unreplaceable, but to win back-to-back Super Bowls, if Jalen Hurts does it, I will sit up here. I will eat my words, and that's that. But I just don't see it.
Yeah, like okay, so it was some things you said that was good and stuff, but you saying Jalen Hurts, like, look, me, I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan. Like, I hate Jalen Hurts as much as like, or dislike him as much as you probably. But you gotta look at it. Jalen Hurts. What his stats is right now is better than last year's stats. Right now, last year he had 18 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions. Right now, in his mid-season, he has 15 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. That's like he's doing real good numbers and stuff. And like there were some players that you said like elevated their team. A player like Terry Bradshaw, he is a good quarterback and stuff, a legendary quarterback, but he wasn't really the main factor as to why those Steelers team won those Super Bowl championships. You gotta look at the steel curtains on defense and stuff. Those the reasons why they had, why they were like the best, in the 70s. Or look at Troy Aikman. He obviously is like a Hall of Fame quarterback and stuff. One of the best quarterbacks in the 90s. But you gotta look at what was around him. He had Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, like um like I forgot their fullback name, but Johnson. But then also like probably the best offensive line within the 90s. Plus their defense was also good too. Like it wasn't like these quarterbacks was like carrying their team like how a Tom Brady was or like a Patrick Mahomes like was or something. These all these quarterbacks they had a superstar talents on their whole entire roster, which made them elevated them to the Super Bowl. The quarterbacks they played like their part in it, but it wasn't like it was solely the quarterbacks or anything. Jalen Hurts, he's helping his team, case as to why they should probably go back to back this year. While they probably won't go back to back, you gotta think of it like Jalen Hurts, he playing better football than he did last year. So it's like if he is the quarterback playing better, they should always probably go back to back. Not saying that they are though, but that's my my case.
Here's my take on the whole Jalen Hurts can he go back to back thing. Jalen Hurts may not be a team elevator to your point, Tyrus, but I think he has a gene that to me is a little bit more important than team elevation. He has the leadership gene down to a science. Jalen Hurts is who you want as a leader. He's a leader of men. Yes, he has some funny quotes in the media sometimes, look kind of corny or just sound a little bit odd, but he is a leader of men. Those men love Jalen Hurts. They defend him any chance they get. He himself causes no problems in the media. He's not a media bug at all. He sits there, all he does is win. All the dude does is win. Since he's gotten to the Eagles, for the most part, I think his record is far into the positives. I can't remember what it is exactly, but he is a winner. He won when he won 2 years ago. He then went to the Super Bowl. They lost by what, 3 points? Winner. He came back the next year. They had a falling out towards the end of the year, but still they were I think 9-1, 10-1 to a point at that time last year. Winner. Next year they win a Super Bowl. Winner. Yes, with Saquon's help. This year they're 6-2. Winner. All the man does is win. It's a leadership trait that I see in him that I also see in Dak Prescott. Leadership. He has that trait down to a science. To compare him to Bart Starr, to compare him to Terry Bradshaw, Patrick Mahomes, Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, all those players, yes, they're all super talented and they are indeed team elevators as well, but they also are leaders of their team. Jalen Hurts is the de facto leader of the Philadelphia Eagles franchise, and no one can question that. So I think he has it able. He's in it. He has it in him. He has it in him. He has the roster around him in him because once again they haven't changed too much from last year. Where this team could inevitably go on a run again. Saquon can heat up again, and they can go on another one and we can win a second one. I think it's a not a high possibility, but I think it is one that we need to consider being a real option in this particular case, this particular year, where they could go on a run and win back-to-back Super Bowls with Jalen Hurts because he has that leadership gene in him just so down packed.
Not just the leadership gene. I'll give Jalen Hurts this. And like I said, I wasn't trying to disrespect him or discredit him. I'll get speaking of Jalen Hurts and his positives, right? Leadership gene, absolutely cannot deny that. Another thing that Jalen Hurts has that a lot of other elite quarterbacks don't have, Jalen Hurts has the clutch gene. He doesn't just have the leadership gene, he has the clutch gene. So if he does take the Eagles back to the Super Bowl again, a third time, it will be heavily on the fact that he performs clutch in the playoffs. Last year, he was probably one of the best quarterbacks in the playoffs with how clutch he was. I mean, I know for sure, I've seen it firsthand in that NFC Championship. He carved us up, he ran all over us, he was clutch. And that's just something that I'll say if he does go on that run and they do run it back and get there. One, I will be sick. Two, I will be surprised and I will not discredit them because it's like, what can I say? They got it back. They proved me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the playoffs are a tough beast. And I will say this seeding is a big factor because I'm going to be honest, no one's going through Philly. You're not, if the Eagles find a way to get the one seed again, Lord have mercy. Nobody's going through Philly. You're not going to Philly in the winter and thinking, oh, I'm going to go play in the cold and I'm going to beat the Eagles with the crazy fans and the crazy environment. You're not going through Philly. So seeding is a big factor because if the Eagles get the one seed, it might be wraps. It might. What's good, Reggie?
What's good, everybody?
So
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, my bad. I meant to join earlier, but I had to figure out a charger for either my computer or my phone. So, both of them are charging. But I'm glad to be on with y'all.
Hey, appreciate you joining, bro.
No
We were
problem.
just chopping it up about Shedeur, and then we got around to talking about the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Eagles. Really, we're just talking about Week 8 and what happened, but we're now going to
hmm
transition into predictions for Week 9
hmm
this week. And we got some solid games this week. I think that the Colts and Steelers game will probably be a good one. Obviously, Commanders, Seattle. Really,
Yeah.
that's really the season for Washington. Like that's like it's now or never. Wake up. So that's big. But what are your thoughts about Week 8 and what happened, and then going into Week 9? What are your thoughts?
Week 8 was like, just in general, I looked up this stat. Week 8 was about total domination from every team that won. I was looking up this stat yesterday. 11 of the 12 games that happened with 13 with Monday Night Football. Well, no, 14 because Thursday night and Monday Night Football. So literally, 14 out of like 15 games that happened ended in like double digits wins. So week 8 was about domination for, the teams that won. The teams that lost, they just had a bad day. Um, Going back to what you said about Washington, I mean, I feel like honestly, I feel like the season is over. I don't want to sound like pessimistic a little bit, but I feel like the season's over for Washington. They just been through too much, and there was a Commanders insider that said in the off season that the vibes were just different. Like it wasn't a vibe of a team that was trying to win a Super Bowl. It was a vibe of a team that is feeling too relaxed that they made the NFC Championship game, and they just didn't look at the bigger goal in mind, which is the Super Bowl. And it makes me wonder, like, did we take Jaden Daniels, for credit? Do we for granted? I said credit. Do we take him for granted because we went to the Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl, we went to the NFC Championship game and thought, yeah, he's going to get us back there. But, he had a historic rookie season. We knew he was not going to replicate that. And I'm not saying he was not going to replicate it, but we knew it was not going to be that same success automatically. So, it sucks what week 8 happened, but, you got to move on. Congratulations to all the team that won. I would say a team that is low key overrated, in my opinion, is Pittsburgh. I was one of the main ones that was telling my friends that Pittsburgh defense was not that good. Even when they traded for Jalen Ramsey, I felt like they were old, and they're proving me right every week. They can't stop a nosebleed. Darius Slay looks washed. J Ram, not the same J Ram that he once was with Los Angeles in his first couple years with the Dolphins. TJ Watt's getting old, and he's not even an older person. He's just getting old because he's been carrying defense so much that his body's starting to give out on him. Cam Hayward's old. You just got a lot of old players on the team, and that's what I feel. I feel like Pittsburgh's situation is similar to Washington in that they're trying to think these old players would produce. In reality, the NFL is about them young thoroughbreds. You gotta have some young dogs in there. And if you don't have them young dogs, that you're not gonna go nowhere. And I don't mind having a veteran presence, a couple, but built them young dogs. It's the reason why the Rams are keep being in contention every year. Byron Young, Jared Verse. They grabbed Cam Curl from us. They got a young defense, but they're still performing to the level that I don't think nobody thought they could really perform, especially with the retirement of Aaron Donald. But I know I'm just talking a little too much. But yeah, that's my
You know,
reaction to
Reggie.
just week 8.
You know some Reggie. That's a great point. I'm thinking about my cuz who's been on the channel before.
Mhm.
Shout out my cousin Malachi. But he's a big Steelers fan, so that's why I'm shouting him out. But for real, I saw this stat today. This is probably, well, not probably, it is. This is the worst Steelers defense of all time. And what's funny about that is before I even saw the post, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I've never seen the Steelers defense this bad. I mean, you give up 33 points to a washed Joe Flacco. I knew then that something's not right here. Something's not right here. 33 points. Joe Flacco just got to the team. Keep in mind, he just got there from Cleveland, and you give up 33 points. The following week, obviously, you lose to the Packers. They weren't the favorites to win that, but it's like the way that they lost. Like
Mhm.
something's not right. But the Steelers, they really could mess around and lose their grip on the division. The Ravens' remaining schedule is pretty slight, if we're being real.
It
And
is.
Lamar coming back, they could creep up and take it.
I got
Mhm.
Ravens winning the division now. I felt like I knew there was a problem with Pittsburgh's defense week 1. Not that Justin Fields wasn't good, per se. It's just when you look at this Jets offense, like, and there was a report that came out too that they wanted to establish the run. Like the way they wanted to play their style of football was establish the run, keep themselves ahead because they know that they don't have the talents all around to be throwing the football. And then week 1 comes, and the Jets did something totally uncharacteristic. They start throwing the football. Garrett Wilson started getting involved. Um, Brees Hall started getting like a lot of other people started getting involved. And when although like if Aaron Rodgers didn't throw 4 touchdowns that game, Pittsburgh probably would have had a loss on that record to a team that whose offense was not even about passing the football, but they had a daggone good day passing the football. And Justin Fields threw 3 touchdowns, and that was Fields' best game up until this past Sunday against the Bengals. So that was my. I think Pittsburgh been had a problem since the season started, in my opinion.
And
Definitely have. To that point, going into week 9, they go against a absolutely high-powered Colts offense going into week 9. There is a home game for them, but once again, Indiana Jones and John Taylor are coming into town, and they're coming in at the 7-1 record, best record in the AFC. I do not see the horrible, abysmal, disgusting, nauseating Pittsburgh defense, who's ranked 30th right now in pass defense, going to stop Daniel Jones. I think Jonathan Taylor goes home with a buck 25, maybe a touchdown, maybe two, and they get steamrolled here again by the Colts. What do y'all think?
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
disagree with you,
agree. I
Ali.
agree.
I got an
I'm gonna
upset.
disagree. I got
I got an
Steelers.
upset. I
Nah,
got an
I
I
got
upset.
got the
Steelers.
Colts winning.
I got an
I got the
upset. I
Colts
don't
winning.
know why. I feel like this is such a trap game for the Colts. And Indiana Jones is doing something amazing. He is one of 3 quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers in 2020 and 2011, and Tom Brady's historic 50 touchdown 2007 season, who has had an 100 or above passer rating in his 7 or first 8 games. So Daniel Jones is doing something unbelievable and unimaginable. But I felt like this is a trap game for them. I'm agreeing with Tyrus. I think I got Steelers upset. I don't know
I
why,
got Colts.
but I feel like
I
Aaron
know why.
Rodgers, he's
I know
pissed.
why. I
Yeah,
know
nah,
why.
I got Colts. The Colts.
First of all, if people remember, and I know this is a new Daniel Jones, but we have to remember who Daniel Jones was in prime time. When it comes to the light, then bright lights come on, and Daniel Jones has not been that guy. I know he's a new Daniel Jones. Keep that in mind. Also, what game, what team has Daniel Jones played against this year that has had like an elite fan base? Because the Steelers, they're going to pack it up. It's going to be loud. It's going to be an environment that he really hasn't faced this season, especially in prime time too. I think the Steelers defense has to wake up at some point. Why not this game? I know Jonathan Taylor's a star. He's a superstar, and he's going to run all over you. But at the end of the day, the Steelers, they have to get it together. And also, Mike Tomlin, I get it. People saying things about him, but he's a good coach. And for him to lose 3 weeks in a row, I don't know. I don't really see that. I don't.
I
And
think it's
if I'm
actually
not
on brand
mistaken,
for
haven't
him.
they had? Isn't this their third straight home game too?
No, they was on the
Um,
road against Cincinnati. It was a short week. They was on the road against Cincinnati.
Mm,
Right,
yeah.
true. But yeah, losing three games in a row is a terrible look. The Steelers have to get it together at some point. And then on the flip side, before I pass it to Will, my fault, I interrupted you.
that's
My
good.
fault. The Colts, as good as they are right now, I was talking with my cousin. We was texting the other day. He asked me, "Do you think the Colts are legit?" Now I have them for my power rankings this week. I put the Colts number one. But if we're talking about overall, I say this to my guys all the time. There's only so far you can go with a Sam Darnold, a Daniel Jones, as your quarterback. There's only so far you can go. Like those guys aren't winning Super Bowls. I hope y'all know that. Like respectfully, I'm not trying to hate, but there's only so far a team with Daniel Jones as his quarterback is going to go. They could win. They could possibly win a playoff game, maybe two. They're not like they're legit for right now. When football gets serious is when what was when it's when it get cold and when it gets late in the season. That's when we separate the frauds from the real. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like I agree with your point. Like you said, the Colts, they might be number one team, but are they really the number one team? And what I mean is, they might, have that 7-1 record. That record definitely look good for them and stuff. But could they really like? Are they really the number one team in the league? Could they really go to Detroit and beat the Lions? Could they really go to Buffalo and beat Buffalo? Like I don't really know in that aspect where are they really considered the best team in the league if they can't really beat the best teams in the league. So for this game in specific, I do have them winning because I don't see Pittsburgh containing Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, he might have, a season like Saquon did last year, Derrick Henry last year. Like he's on pace for those type numbers. For even better than those. Like I don't see the Steelers, who this is their worst defense in franchise history. I don't see that Steelers defense being able to really stop or slow down this Colts offense.
Mm-mm.
It's tough. It's tough. But going into a wider discussion with the week 9, um, just gonna ask you guys. So game by game, we got Thursday night Miami. We got the Ravens versus the Miami Dolphins. I think we should all agree the Ravens got that.
Yeah, Ravens.
This is
Yeah,
Oh
a
I
given
yeah,
say
for
the
the Ravens.
Ravens.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
and
I
Lamar's
say
back too.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, the reason
I
why I
got
say
Ravens by 10
Ravens is
plus.
because I got Ravens by a good 14 points because I don't see the Dolphins. They did beat the Falcons, but to me, that was really just like a fluke win, to be for real. I don't
I'm
see
telling
them
you.
like trying to get onto like some streak
Well,
or anything. I don't really see any of
Penix
that,
was out
you know.
too.
Hmm? Oh yeah, Pennis was out too.
Penix
They
was
had
out
Kirk
too.
Cousins. Yeah, they had Kirk Cousins playing. So,
I
Lamar
knew.
coming back, I see him actually like going crazy in his first game.
I saw it.
Listen, dog. I knew when they announced that Kirk Cousins was playing. Because prior to I had my parlay set right. I had my parlay ready.
Mhm.
Listen, I had that parlay ready, and I saw that. Then I had the update. It was like, oh, um, Lamar's out. Flip that. Ravens gonna lose that. But then they messed around and beat the Bears. I was surprised. But then they announced, oh,
I
Michael
wasn't
Penix not playing.
surprised.
Kirk Cousins is playing. I was like, oh, get that. I'm not. I can't. Because I know who Kirk Cousins is at this point in his career. He wasn't winning that game.
Yeah,
So
I wish he
I'm
played
sorry.
against us a couple weeks ago. I wish he played
I'm
against Washington.
I
Like,
wish.
I'm not I'm not
yeah,
surprised that the Ravens beat the Bears for me because I knew what I knew. Caleb Williams is still inconsistent. We should have beat the Bears on Monday Night Football. If Jaden don't fumble that snap, they already had two
we won.
timeouts remaining.
We won.
He fumbled that snap. If they get the snap and get that first down, you're going down to the 2 minute warning. They got to use another timeout, and
Even
now
if
they
he
only got one timeout left.
even if he didn't get the snap, I mean, even if he like got the snap off and they didn't get the first down, I still say you punt the ball off, pin them back in the territory, we most likely still would have won the game. But I digress.
But we need to have a conversation about Cliff Kingsbury, and I'm
Yeah,
so serious.
We'll we'll,
And
we'll get to that. But going to the next
yeah,
game, we
yeah,
got the Bears and Bengals. I'm gonna go Bears.
uh, I see. I say Bears. As much as I dislike them, I say Bears.
skippable.
Um, yeah. The reason why I say Bears is because I see Ben Johnson, he's going to basically will this team to actually, win more games than people expect them. Because this is around the time point where the Bears probably, dwindle down. They go on their big losing streak or something, and really nobody hear about them until the offseason when they get, claim offseason champs or something. But I feel like, with Ben Johnson, he actually is going to will just seem to win more games than expected. And this could probably be another game where we're probably expecting Joe Flacco to go out there and throw 4 or 5 touchdown passes against them. But I actually seen them win this game, so I got the Bears winning.
Going to the next game, just to keep it, keep the pace going.
Yeah,
We got the Vikings at Detroit. I'm gonna go Lions. I think the Vikings
oh
are
yeah, Lions.
going downhill.
Yeah, Lions.
Definitely the
Yeah, I got
Lions. Yeah.
Lions too.
They're getting
Yeah,
hot one more
Next,
time.
you said what?
Definitely the Lions. They're getting hot
Well,
at the right time.
right, yeah. And they're heating up. Jared Goff doing solid. He's proven a lot of doubters wrong so far. As far as like, hey, people thought they lose Ben Johnson, they were just gonna go downhill. They're keeping it going, so gotta give respect. Panthers at Green Bay. Um, this is like a lion and a kitten. It's a lion versus a kitten. So I'm gonna go Green Bay by however much they want.
I say Green Bay by like 40. No Bryce Young.
I'm gonna go Green Bay by 10 plus in that game.
I go Green Bay 27, Carolina
Oh
17.
shoot, by 40? Oh, no Bryce Young either.
Yeah, no Bryce Young.
If
Yeah,
he's
he
not
out for a
breaking out
That's a
couple.
today,
solid one. Yeah,
is
Yeah, he
Bryce
out
Young
for
not
a
in the
good.
game?
Yeah.
No, it's even worse.
is it guys?
Mm.
Do you guys think Bryce Young's a bust? Is he a bust?
No, he's a slow learner.
Yeah. I
A
mean, I
slow
don't say
development
he's a
player.
bust, but
He hasn't lived up to expect. He hasn't lived up as the number one overall pick. Say that.
like, cause yeah, I say that. Cause we're expecting him to be like some already by his third year throwing 40 touchdown passes. Well, he hasn't got to that point yet. He's
I think
going
he
to
needs to.
probably.
My bad, Will. All I was gonna say was he needs a new environment. But go ahead, Will.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say like he might, be able to throw like 30 touchdown passes in his best year, but he hasn't just lived up to expectations people have like, brought upon him.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be like a world
Right.
beater, but he'll always be a solid quarterback. And I feel like if he keeps going at his current pace, he'll be a backup by like year 8, year 9 of his career.
Yeah.
The backup is crazy. Okay.
Say he gonna fall off the hill.
Hill. Oh, let's keep going. Whew.
Going to the next game, we got Chargers and Tennessee. Give me the Chargers. Tennessee
Yeah, I
is
got
just
Chargers.
terrible. I feel bad for Cam Ward because he
Yeah.
was so positive when he got drafted. He's like, we can win, we can do this. You know what I'm saying? I believe in my wide receiver core. He's getting humbled real quick. I mean, not even
Yeah.
humbled because he does seem pretty humble. But I would say just like he's getting the NFL wake up call that rookies always usually get, unless you're Jaden Daniels, of course. But not everybody can do that. No, everybody can come in year one and just like, especially with the Titans, they're just so bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Cam Ward.
They are
Also,
abysmal. This is my dark horse for the particular week. I actually have the Tennessee Titans beating the Chargers at home this particular week. I think they get their second win of the season here. Not a very likely choice or chance by that margin by no means, but I have a feeling that Cam World makes a play, gets it done, and he wins late game field goal 2017.
So that's
I like
Chargers
that
for
prediction.
me by 10 plus.
Okay. He said upset the Titans over Chargers. No, the Chargers offense is back. I'm letting everybody know they are back. Joe Alt has returned. He was dearly missed for that team. People forget that Joe Alt um during the first 3 weeks, Justin Herbert was a top three MVP candidate. Game four against the Giants,
Who
he
said
goes
that?
down.
Who
Huh?
said Titans over Chargers? Who
I
said
heard
Titans over
Malik said
Chargers?
I heard Titans
Well, I
over
was going
Chargers.
relique.
Yeah, I heard Titans over Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's bold.
Yeah. Um,
Not,
I was
but
just
yeah,
gonna say
well,
this
go
one
ahead.
thing about the Titans. See, like I feel bad for Cam Ward because before the year started, people was actually having the Titans as this year version of last year's Commanders team. So I was like, wow, they really, trying to just throw that narrative out there that they could probably be like some 10-7, going to the playoffs and stuff. I was like, okay,
The
okay.
problem,
But
the pro- the
yeah,
problem with the
while,
Titans is, oh, sorry, go
while
ahead.
they're not, as good as last year's Commanders team, it's definitely some growing pains for that Titans team that I feel like they definitely have like a bright future. But while I say all that, I still have Chargers win this week.
The problem with the Titans, in my opinion, is they don't have the requisite players. Remember, that defense was number one last year, and I forgot what was the stat, but they were number one. Although they had a bad record, they were number one. and like total defense last year, Titans. So the problem for the Titans this year is the defense has regressed and the offense didn't get better. That's the problem. They don't have skill players. Calvin really is basically a shell of himself. They're trying to see if Eric Alomore or Chamari Dike can be that. No, Tony, and
What's the
then the
next
running
game?
core, and then yeah, we can keep going, but they don't have guys. They don't have dogs on that team.
Hello.
Yeah. Going to the next game, I got Patriots over Falcons.
Patriots and
That's
Falcons. Oh
that's
yeah, yeah. That should be an
Definitely
easy game.
Patriots over
I
Falcons.
definitely got
it's
Patriots.
in New England as
Yeah.
well. So
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Drake May
I'm really
MVP
surprised
campaign.
by Patriots this year. They really have like turned it around. Drake
I'm
May, he's playing like I won't say he is or anything. He's not better than Jane Daniels. So like I'm still like stand by that. But he is playing like the second best quarterback in last year's draft class right now. So I definitely
not
say
surprised.
Patriots are, you know, better than expected.
I'm not surprised they got a head coach now. No disrespect to Gerard Mayo, they got a head coach. Like Vrabel's been there. He's done this. Like it's time to start putting some respect on this man's name. I'm saying look, he is a great coach. They got Josh McDaniels back, one of the best offensive minds in the league. When you got that combination, you know it's going to work well. Then they brought in a veteran receiver, Stephon Diggs. Then they got young guys, Butte, because not Booty, it's Butte for some reason. I don't know why, but that's his name. Matt Collins, underrated signing. Then you still got a three. You had a three headed monster running back in Henderson, Stevenson, and Gibson, but unfortunately Gibson is out for the season. But still
Elijah, you
got
talking?
Ramondre. Yeah, I was talking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm about to say, yeah, you got a couple guys that they got all solid team, and then the defensive addition has been great. The addition of Carlton Davis next to Christian Gonzalez has been doing well. Harold Landry picked him up. They got the best maybe defensive tackle duo and Baltimore, and I forgot the other guy's name, so I apologize, for that. But they got an all around good team. Now, can they make it to the Super Bowl? That's another question for another day. But for this particular season, they can definitely get into the playoffs, and I have them in the playoffs. The question is whether they win the division or not. Anybody wants to add?
We're talking about which team again to remind
Hello.
myself?
Patriots versus Falcons.
You said which team you have winning the division? The Patriots.
No, 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 no. We was talking about the Patriots versus Falcons. Tyrus had Patriots winning, and I was talking about Will was saying that he was surprised at the Patriots' success this year. Of course, Commanders fans, including me, I'm still taking Jay Daniels over Drake May. But we may have a case where both of them could be Hall of Famers. It's crazy to say that both of them could be Hall of Famers.
Only
speaking of
time.
Drake May and Jaden Daniels, I had to step away real quick, but I'm back.
Hmm.
Speaking of Jaden Daniels and Drake May, before we get into the other games, make our predictions. Man, I'm sorry, but the disrespect has to stop. I get it. Drake May's doing well, but I feel like people are being prisoners of the moment. Jaden Daniels, he was the best player on our team last year, and he brought us to the NFC Championship. And to the other guys in that draft class, yes, Taylor Williams, number one pick. Yes, Drake May. Yes, Bo Nix. Yes, Michael Penix. Until those guys, and JJ
JJ
McCarthy
McCarthy
too,
also.
until those guys can lead their team to a playoff win or multiple playoff wins or possibly a conference championship or beyond, until they can even do that, then what are we talking about? I get it. Bo Nix right now, he's balling. He's probably the guy right now. But right now is right now. I'm talking about overall. You draft quarterbacks to win, don't you? You play the football game to win, don't you? What does five do? And it's not. And when I say that, I'm not making it solely about winning because winning is a team stat. Teams win. I got it. But there's different levels of contribution when it comes to sports. The Chicago Bulls won. Steve Kerr and Michael Jordan, they both won. One of them contributed something completely different than the other. So there's different levels of contribution, and that's what affects legacy. When it comes to the Washington Commanders last season, and then being an elite team, winning playoff games, getting to the NFC Championship, Jaden Daniels is probably the biggest contributor on the team when it comes to players. So yeah, he's at the top. For me, I got to keep him up there. But I want to stay on that topic, going to other games because I know Raleigh has to step out soon. Going to the other games, 49ers over the Giants. I think we should all agree on that. The Giants they're just a
Yes,
defeated.
I agree.
You can say the same about
I
the
Yeah,
agree.
Dak Prescott can
49ers.
do it all by himself.
The 49ers, no.
Defeated in
No,
like
no,
a little bit
the
of injury
49ers
report.
aren't defeated. My
Right.
fault, Raleigh. You said
They're
something?
not undefeated.
I'm just saying, like the Giants are very much still recovering from like vascular injuries to their star players. Of course, Malik Neighbors tore his ACL weeks prior. Of course, they're just still recovering from Cam Skybu's devastating ankle injury as well. They're not in the headspace to win this game. I'm pretty sure they're at home. Even if they're not, I don't believe their chance to win this game. Jackson Dart is a rookie. He's been playing great form. I love to see competition within the division, but he is not capable of winning this game by himself. Wanda Robinson is no wide receiver one. They can't do it with no run game, no pass game. I don't see a way that Jackson Dart and Giants can get this game won.
I understand what y'all saying. And I mean, mind you, I got 49ers winning. But my thing is, 49ers been dealing with depleted injuries too. Yes, do they have some of their star players? Yes, like Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brock Purdy's supposed to return soon. But they lost Fred Warner for the year. They lost Nick Bosa for the year. Bryce Huff is on IR still from that ankle. Like that defense is depleted. And the offense been depleted too to a degree because they still don't have Pearsall. Y'all saw the report on Brandon Ayuk. We don't even know if he's even coming back this year. Jawan Jennings came out to the public and said, "Oh yeah, I've been playing with five fractured ribs, or well, no, five fractured ribs, three broken something, and whatever." So I get it, the Giants may be right now dealing with a lot specifically, but the 49ers ain't ain't goody two shoes too. Like they got some injuries that they're dealing with. Yes, I have the Niners winning, but all I'm saying is they're dealing with things too as well.
The difference is the 49ers have a significantly better head coach. They also have backups that are actually good. That's the difference. The Giants don't have the depth that the 49ers do. The Giants
That's true.
don't have a superstar running back named Christian McCaffrey who can make a guy like Mac Jones look like a star quarterback. They
Hmm.
don't. The
They
49ers are going to
don't.
win this
They
game,
don't.
and they might win by 10 plus. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry. The
They
49ers are
don't.
just better.
They don't. They don't. Giants don't. I got 49ers too. All I'm saying is I just won't be surprised if the Giants somehow find a way to win. That's all I'm saying. I do got 49ers though.
That would be
But
wild.
I will not be surprised. But yeah, we can move on though.
Moving on, just trying to keep it quick. We already got to that Steelers and Colts. I got Steelers for that game for the upset. Going to the next game, we got Broncos at Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans in this game. I am.
After seeing what the Broncos did to my defense, albeit a once again abysmal, disgusting, awful, nauseating, disgusting defense as my Cowboys defense is, Bo Nix looked good. I think this was a good get right game for him, and I can believe he will take this game and compound it with this next week's game, and he will beat the brakes off the Texans. I have it being a
Who's
blowout around
Ooh,
34 points to around 17. 34
who's
17.
home?
dang. Wow.
Who's home? I'm sorry.
Pretty
It's
certain.
at Houston.
Yeah,
That
Texans
Houston.
are home.
I'm going with Tyrus. I know I know Bo Nick scored 44 points, but this man keeps having slow starts, and I don't believe if you have a slow start against this Texan defense, look, say what you want to say about CJ Stroud. May not be a good year, maybe a good year. But CJ Stroud ain't gonna make no mistakes at home. He's not about to lose this game. No, not to no. And they
No.
don't have Pat Surtain either. He's gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks due to that pec strain. So that defense is gonna look awfully different. And secondary wise, I got Texans.
Yeah, I got. I mean, I said it's gonna be a close game, but I still got Texans winning because that, as y'all, as y'all said, that Texas defense is like lights out when it's like lights. When it's how should I say it? That Texans defense when it's on is on basically. Um, like I don't see the Broncos really like with that defense with their defense, having Pastor Tan injured and stuff. That edge rusher and that defensive line could still, wreak havoc for C.J. Stroud in the Texas offense, but I don't see him really doing that much to really stop, Texas, I say. So I say Texans winning.
Going to the next game, we got the Jaguars at Las Vegas. I'm going with the Jaguars in this one.
I second that. I'm also going with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I see Jaguars, you know. I say Jaguars winning.
I don't really don't. I got Raiders. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jaguars' last two losses, honestly, has been demoralizing. I know they got this bye week coming up, though they had the bye week already. It's just something about this Jaguars team that I can't put a finger on it. And Brock Bowser's returning too, so I think that will help a lot with the Raiders' offense that's been struggling the past few weeks for sure.
I will say this, speaking of the Jaguars, and I'll make this quick. Until he proves otherwise, I'm standing on what I've said so far. Trevor Lawrence is an overrated quarterback. Oh my gosh, he's overrated. Anyway, going to going to the next topic, going to the next game. I don't want to get sidetracked. The Saints against the Rams. When I just said the Saints,
Rams.
I think as soon as I just said the Saints, right? I bet you
Yeah,
guys were all
soon.
just like, "Oh,
Yeah,
whoever
like
going against them is
well,
going
who's the
to
other
whoever."
team?
Yeah, Saints
Yeah,
and
so
Rams. It's
With Puka back too, but Puka might. I'm not gonna lie. In fantasy, Puka might go for 40.
Mhm.
He might have that type of game. Him and Devontae may go off that game. I won't be surprised if
see
Stafford is player of the week. I ain't gonna be surprised.
see in fantasy, I don't know because I remember thinking the same thing a couple weeks ago when the Rams went against the Ravens. I was like, oh, this better be a 50-point game for Puka. End up not really, doing all that good and stuff, and then he got injured, so it was like,
Yeah, but remember
it
that
could be.
Ravens defense was good too, but the week prior as well. Somewhat.
Nah,
They had flashes. They wasn't good, but they had flashes. They just
that
made the changes.
that Ravens defense was number 30, was I think the 31st, 32nd ranked, passing defense.
No.
So it was
I was
like,
talking about I forgot who they played before the Rams, but they show flashes in that. I'm not saying they've been good all year though.
I
okay,
got
okay.
Rams winning 33-13. It's the Saints are just a bad football team. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Going
Boy, you made a
to
huge mistake.
yeah. Even trading for Lattimore. Oh my gosh. That's Adam Peters. He took the shot. He took the risk. He pulled up on a heat check like a half court heat check like Steph Curry, and he missed it. It just didn't go down. But going to the next game, the America's game of the week. Let's be real. This is the game right here. We all gonna be watching this joint. We got Chiefs at Buffalo. I can't wait for this
Yeah.
game right here. Let's go.
All right, Buffalo's at home, right?
Buffalo
Buffalo
is
at
indeed
home.
at home. Correct.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest. Josh Allen has not looked good in the month of October. He looked good in September, but October he has not looked good. It's been more. They lost two straight, and then the Panthers game, it was the James Cook show. Yes, he had three touchdowns, but James Cook had 216 rushing yards. So, in order for the Bills to win this game, they're going to need Josh Allen. Do I think Josh Allen will perform? Yes. I don't think it will be enough for them to win. That's why I have the Chiefs winning 28-25.
Where? Who's home?
Buffalo.
Bills.
Bills are home.
Buffalo. Since it's at Buffalo, I mean, I say the Bills probably winning. I got Bills winning this game. Um, like, I mean, this storyline, Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen, it's a good storyline. Like that probably should be going on for like years and years. But at some point, it's going to begin, drawing out. Obviously, probably Bills going to win in the regular season, but then come playoff time, obviously Chiefs going to win. So to me, I mean, it is going to be a good game, and obviously I'm gonna look at the game. Like it's football, like I'm gonna look at it, but it just get drawn out to me so many times where it's like, up, get ready for Chiefs and Buffalo. Like we saw this probably about a good now 7 times, probably more than that at this point. It's just like just getting tiring.
It's
Just seeing the
it's
two
kind of
same two teams.
it's kind of like a must-win game for both of them because if you look at I'm looking at both of their divisions right now. The Bills aren't the first. They're not in first place. The Patriots are in first place right now at 6-2. The Bills are 5-2. The AFC West. The Chiefs are third place right now. This is a must-win game for both.
But
Me
let's be
personally,
honest. Oh, go ahead. Get my baby. Finish what you got there. Sorry. I was going to rebuttal.
me personally, it's tough because like one lesson I have learned, and I really enjoy the fact that I have learned this lesson. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. You don't. And hey, Jalen Hurts got him in the Super Bowl. Nice. Other times, you usually don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. And it's just hard. It's hard. But I'm gonna be honest. This game, I got the Buffalo Bills winning this football game. The Buffalo Bills are catching heat. They're getting hot. If you saw them last week, I know it's just the Panthers. They're clicking. They are back. Especially after those losses to the Patriots and the Falcons. Like it's just what are they doing? So they probably had a hard week of practice. They probably got in the room together. They started talking. I mean, they got together. I got the Bills, but I could be wrong. It could really go either way. Um, let me get to my score prediction. Hold up.
Yeah, you good.
What? So for this game, I got the Bills winning 31-28.
I got you.
I like that.
It's gonna be a high scoring game for sure. I just don't I don't trust Buffalo's defense still. I know it's against the Panthers, so they look amazing, and it's Andy Dalton, and nobody cares about Andy Dalton no more. With all due respect, I don't trust that Buffalo's Bills defense still, and they're about to play. They're about to play Patrick Mahomes. They're not playing Andy Dalton. I got to see if they worked on something on the bye week that they can flush to Patrick Mahomes. And side note, that Washington game, Mahomes. I know Mahomes had 2 picks, but one of them picks, Travis Kelsey was at fault. Wasn't nobody else. So
Going to the next game, or Raleigh, you made your pick?
Yeah, if there's one thing Buffalo knows how to do in the regular season, it's beat the Chiefs. I'm not sure why it is, but the Chiefs lose to the Buffalo in the regular season more oftentimes than not. However, Kama, when we discuss this exact same matchup in January, of course, the Chiefs would probably win again. I'm very sick and tired of seeing Josh Allen be the always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But until that changes, it will always be this. He'll win the matchup in the regular season, and then come playoff time, he'll lose in a close one.
Hmm.
So my score prediction is 24-21. Having been a low scoring game, these teams know each other very, very, very well. They play all the time. It won't be a shootout. 24-21. Bills go up.
Got you. So hey, we all got Bills except for Reggie. We'll see who's right. I mean, this is a tough one. But going to the next game, Sunday night football, we got the Seattle Seahawks coming to FedEx Field, or well, now Northwest Stadium, um, and in Landover, Maryland, versus my Commanders. I'm hyped for this game just because I love seeing my team play, especially in prime time, because the craziest things happen. I didn't expect in our last primetime game on Monday. I didn't expect Patrick Mahomes to throw 2 interceptions. If he threw 2 interceptions, I was sitting there like, oh shoot, we might have a chance to win this game. And then what happened after getting 2 turnovers, we came away with 0 points. Thanks, Cliff Kingsbury. But going into this game, I'm confident because I think that Jaden Daniels, if I'm not mistaken, he's practicing. He's practicing this week. He's going to practice, and we're going to see if he plays. I'm hopefully he plays, but I'm gonna go with Seattle. I'm gonna go with Seattle to win this game. It's just this is the point where it's like it's do or die. Terry's out. Until this team proves that they can beat like a team that's really going to be in the playoffs elite, which we did do that against the Chargers, but hey, we have to beat our own conference. We have to beat the NFC, and in this particular game, score prediction, I'm gonna go Seattle 24-17 over Commanders.
See, that's a good score predict. I mean, I said Jane Daniels playing. I say we score more than 17 points. But I say, I say Seattle wins 31-34 in a high scoring affair just because the plain fact that Jane Daniels is playing. And, Seattle, they definitely do have like a good defense plus offense. But I say Jane Daniels, he just comes back to Washington and actually like helps them get on the board more than Marcus Mariota did. So yeah.
My my heart is saying Commanders, and the reason I'm saying Commanders is because of Sam Darnold. Now we know Sam Darnold has had a good year so far, but he would give you one of these games where he reverts back to the old Sam Darnold. I don't know why. I feel like it will be this game, but maybe it won't be this game. But my heart is saying Commanders, but I'm just going like Tyler said. I think the logical answer is Seattle. I think with Jaden Daniels back, yeah, they will score more points, but it doesn't change the fact that the O line still have issues communicating. Defense, Jaden Daniels can't help that defense. We tried that week one, week two, and they let up how many points to the Packers? So honestly, I just think. Now I will say this: Cliff Kingsbury needs to stop running shotgun.
Too much, too much. He
Yeah,
does it way
he
too
he
much.
always do shotgun and stuff like, and he's the only coordinator who wants to throw a 30-yard pass on 4th and 1. I never
That
heard
that,
that a
that
day in
play
my
was
life.
so bad,
Who
terrible.
does that on 4th and 1 trying to throw a 34-yard pass to the end zone? Like it makes no sense. Well, Marcus
And
Mariota,
yeah,
I
bad
was
bad play
laughing.
call.
I was laughing
But
I was laughing off. So bad. Go ahead though.
yeah, that was bad. Hard to watch. But going to the last game before we wrap it up here, we got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. One thing Dak Prescott does well, he plays very good at home. Dallas is going to win this football game.
I
Hold
see
up.
Dallas winning
Hold up.
too.
Hold up. Kyler Murray's 8-0 in Texas, man.
He
Yeah,
Kyler
you know
been
what
is.
what?
else Kyler Murray is? You know what else Kyler Murray is?
Yeah, he
He's
may not be good.
overrated. He's overrated.
Okay,
He's a he's
he could
arguably a
look,
bust.
look, he could be
He's
overrated.
not bust. He's not
Look, he
bust.
could be overrated. Fine. But this man, when he comes back home, plays his tail off. I'm sorry. Malik, I think
Yeah,
your
people.
Cowboys lose this game for no
Woo.
reason. I
It's
Yeah,
think
gonna,
they
I
this
feel
lose
like
this
it's gonna be
game.
a good game though. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a good game.
This is one of the
To
most underrated games, in my
to
opinion.
his point, this is an underrated game for me. This is a very important game in like for our team this particular year. Stephen A. Smith will be in attendance for this game, right? He will be in Dallas. He'll host First Take tomorrow morning after the game in Dallas as well. Very but eyes on this particular game, like Reggie said. Whenever Kyler Murray plays in this stadium, whether it be in high school for a championship game or college or the NFL, he has never lost a single game in AT&T Stadium. However, I think that changes this particular time around. His team is not that good around him. His defense cannot compare to our great offense. I think once again, because Dak Prescott plays so much better at home, our offense is going to electrify that secondary and the Cardinals, it's not going to be very, very pretty. I have a score of about, was it 34-28. I have a feeling that the Cardinals will go crazy. I'm pretty sure Marv is healthy this game as well. I see Marv going for a buck 50, 2 touchdowns on my horrible defense. I do. But I still see us getting the win 34-28.
I say the
I
cow. I
got
mean, what were you about to
no,
say?
you good.
Uh,
Yeah, you good.
I was about to say the Cardinals. Surprise Cowboys because, as you know, they said Kyler Murray has never lost an AT&T Stadium. I don't think that's going to change. This time around, and the reason why is because Kyler Murray, he's just when he wants to actually go out there and perform well, he will he should do that every week. But when he just it's I don't know what it's about playing in Texas or something. He just going to end up performing well. So that's why I say against y'all bad defense, he's going to actually go out there and destroy Cowboys. I feel like I see it being like 35 to I'm gonna say 24, 35-24.
Double
You
digits
see
is
my
crazy.
high-powered offense scoring 24 points at home.
Yeah,
Let's be so for real.
I
But
see
but
35-24. Like I see it.
24 points at home against
35.
the Cardinals defense.
bro,
Cardinals
look,
defense
If
is
that
going to
happens,
surprise y'all. Y'all like
wow.
bro,
watch,
Woo!
no,
watch,
no, no, no.
watch.
Look, bro, I do have Cardinals winning, but the Cowboys ain't scoring 24 points. They get at least 30. Come on.
Oh,
Look,
I see it. No,
Malik is right though. I I don't like the Cowboys, but the one thing you gotta respect is that offense. George Pickens, a resurging Javante Williams, CD Lamb, Dak Prescott, an underrated offensive line. Okay, they first of all, they went to Denver and got destroyed by the Broncos. No matter how you put it, that was a bad day. Okay, bad day. That offense was probably at its worst time in its worst moment. They're not throwing two duds in a row. They're not. They're not.
No.
That offense ain't going two duds in a row. And if they do, we need to start questioning Shy. And I'm not questioning Shy because Shy's been good this season. So it hasn't even been him.
watch,
It's that defense. They're not
watch. We're
scoring
gonna be
24.
questioning him after this game because they're
Why
going
we
to be like,
why we gotta
Wow.
question Shoddy? Shoddy ain't the reason they're losing. His offense been good.
yeah, it
Maybe the
has,
hiring
it
Matt,
has.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Matt Eberflus hiring was bad. You can blame him, but that was more of a Jerry hiring to me.
Dak Prescott
I
For
threw
mean,
my
2 interceptions, no touchdowns, and we still scored 24 points. And you think we're going to score 24 points at home with all our weapons still intact? I don't see it happening. Once again, 38-28 or 34-28. My Cowboys going up. That's all
Well,
I
we
got.
got to take, well, one of them touchdowns was Joe Milton, so 17. But still, it don't even matter. That offense is
I'm
too
a
good to have two dud games in a row.
I'm a for my score prediction, I'm gonna give it right now. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning this football game 33-23 by 10. I gotta stop, guys. All of my picks are just like, oh, I got them by 10, I got them by 10. But yeah, I got the Cowboys by 10 in this game. I get the history because I really do like studying like the patterns, the sports patterns. Oh, he's won an A&T Stadium all these times. Love that for Kyler Murray. He's not winning this football game. Give me Dallas by 10. Dak Prescott's the better quarterback. Schottenheimer, however you say his name, um, he's the
That's
better
right.
coach. The Cowboys have the better coach. They have the better quarterback. They have the better wide receiver one. They have the better wide receiver two. They have the better running back. Um, the defense obviously questionable. The question I have for that is Trayvon Diggs playing?
No, he's
He's
not.
not playing. He's on IR.
He's on IR with that weird concussion injury that I'm not certain is real.
So that's going to be the big one.
Honestly, if you
oh
want to trade
yeah,
before that deadline, I would happy to trade Trayvon before deadline because he's not playing all that. He's not playing great when he is playing. And right now, after Micah Parsons trade, I don't think his heart's in it right about now. He can get up out of here. He can go personally, but
Oh,
I digress.
but hey, Deron Bland, if he's on Harrison, if he's going to travel, I like that matchup for Deron Bland. I like that matchup. So
I
I'm
don't.
going Cowboys. Those are the picks we have, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the live tonight. We unpacked our thoughts on Shedeur Sanders and that situation with the Cleveland Browns. I know Reggie, you weren't here for that, but that was a good discussion. Honestly, I think they should just trade him, give him a chance to actually compete, or you trade him. Because right now, I feel like at this point in time, the trade deadline's next Tuesday. They're probably not going to play him on Sunday. So it's like, look, either you trade him or you give him a chance, switch it up. But we talked
Hey,
about week 8.
my bad. Just one more thing before you close it out. I think Kevin Stefanski is going to get fired, and that's when Shador Sanders will start. I think they're just waiting for
I
Stefanski to
think you
do
have
it.
a good point right there. Yeah, yeah. I don't think he's a good coach. Just being real, he's not good at developing quarterbacks the way that Kevin O'Connell is, the way that some of the other coaches are. So, I think Kevin Stefanski he needs to go somewhere else. He'll be a good offensive coordinator, or he'll probably get a good. He'll probably be OC for 1 or 2 years and go back to being a head coach again. But Cleveland, it brings out the worst in a lot of coaches and a lot of players. He probably needs a different scenery. So we'll see what happens with that. But as far as this live stream, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, William. Thank you, Ralik. You guys have any last words?
How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Forever and always. How about them Cowboys? What can I say?
Commanders 2020, what, 2027 Super Bowl champions? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, put
2027 Super Bowl
weed
champions.
put
Oh,
put it down. Put
nah,
it down.
2027, not
2027.
26, but 27. Watch our bounce back. It's gonna be great. Greatest thing ever. Jane Daniels comeback player of the year next year. Watch.
Come back. He wouldn't even have. I mean, no.
I don't know if he'll be eligible because he would
Yeah.
have to be
Watch.
bad or he would have to either be trash or injured to get that. I mean, he is injured
I
right
mean, he
now, but
was
he's gonna
injured
come
for
back.
like half the year already now.
He
So
hasn't missed. He hasn't missed like significant time. Like 2 games,
he
yes, but he
missed.
hasn't missed like
He
significant
missed like
time.
3, 4 games.
Now, yes, but that's not eligible for a comeback player of the year. Like Tyler said, you either gotta be horrible or you gotta be out for a long periods of time. You can't say, "Oh yeah, I'm out 2 games, come back, get hurt, come back again." They not letting no. He's just had
What?
a injury
Whatever.
season. That's it.
He going
But
whatever award it is. He going to be getting one. If it's MVP, is MVP.
Oh yeah, he
All I'm
get
saying.
MVP eventually. I just don't know when, but
All
he
I'm
will get
saying.
MVP. He's too talented of a quarterback not to get MVP, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Watch. Gonna be getting the
your
MVP.
thoughts, Reggie?
No thought it was a great conversation. I mean, hopefully our commanders, well, except for the league, hopefully the commanders win Sunday night. Should be a
They
good
won't.
game.
You guys going to any games this year?
I
I can't
want
Um.
say.
to, but I'll
Yeah, I
focus
was
on tickets
thinking
too
about it.
late. So I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
was.
start next year.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting some tickets. I was thinking about the Eagles game, like the Eagles versus Commanders game. I forgot what week that is, but I think week
Week
16, no,
16, I think
17.
16.
Yeah, 16. I was thinking about getting tickets for that game, probably the Cowboys one, but
Christmas
I don't
Day.
know now. Yeah,
Christmas Day
Christmas
gonna
Day
be
maybe.
expensive. Christmas Day gonna be
That's
expensive.
gonna be sold out. Sold out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's already sold out though. So yeah, but
But
Cliff
Raleigh,
Kingsbury needs to go. It's time to fire Cliff Kingsbury, fire Joe Witt, fire Dan Quinn.
all
nah,
right,
that's a
man. All
little
right.
push. Okay,
Well,
yeah, that's
I
a
don't know
little
what
push.
you're talking about. You're going a
Like
little
Cliff
too far.
Kingsbury, I say we just need to have like a good thing. Joe Witt, he could go. Joe Witt, he should have been. Kick him, like have him be in China or something. I'm not joking. Like he could go.
My man
Like
said have him
Oh,
go to China.
yeah, like
how about he just burn in hell? How about he just
oh
burn? Just go burn himself. Whatever. I don't care. He just
that's
need to
a
go. Leave Washington. But Dan Quinn needs to go
like
too. That was his hiring. He needs to take some
eh,
blame in this
see.
too.
I say this: if Dan Quinn could just like know his mistake and be able to really like um uh, build up upon it, be like, you know what, like that was a bad hire. How about I get rid of him and actually bring in someone else? He could do that. I say we could keep him because he took us to the NFC Championship game in his first year. Like
No, I
I
feel like
ain't
that was
Y'all
more
both
Jaden. than
let
Dan
me
Quinn.
say this before, because we're dragging the outro. We're dragging it.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I'm gonna pass it to Raleigh, and then we're gonna close. Let me just say this last point. Both of y'all got too much dip on your chip. We're not firing Dan Quinn. We're not firing Cliff Kingsbury. They probably won't even fire Joe Witt Jr. And if they do, it will
They
be
will.
at the end of the season. You're gonna let them finish.
Yeah.
But man, we just gotta be patient, give those guys a chance. Our fan base has been through way worse. So I don't know. The biggest fans that are like super upset right now, like you see me, I hate that we're losing. Like it's upsetting, but like you don't see me like crashing out in my videos like I did in the 23 season with Sam Howell. Because I've seen way worse than this. We're not going to sit here and act like this is the worst thing we saw. For the bandwagon fans, this is the worst thing ever because they haven't been through the trenches of being a Washington football fan. They haven't. So
My
to
God.
them, this is like the worst thing ever. This is just a bump in the road. We'll be fine. But Raleigh, your last points, man.
Um, yeah, I think I've touched on all my topics so far. Like I said, with the Shedeur Sanders situation, it's a lose-lose situation for both the Browns, who refuse to trade him or play him, and for him himself, who cannot up his trade value by no means because he won't be able to play. And I'm not certain, but of course, we don't know how he is played or portrayed in the media in the actual locker room. We're not certain what those relationships look like between him and his teammates. So between him and the Browns, they're in a lose-lose situation. I stand by all my NFL picks, and yeah, here we are. It was a pleasure being here. Can't wait to
Hey
do it
man,
again.
appreciate you guys. Always love. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm your host, Tars Fulson. This is the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. Until next time, peace.
Take
Peace.
care.
Peace. Yeah.